Good morning to you, Sally Fukombat. You're the head of primary healthcare pharmacy, the Boku Presbyterian Hospital. Wish you all the best for the day as well. Well, we have an impending event. I know that you're very busy preparing for it, but look, let's straight away get into the newspapers. I've been joined by Gifty and Apia. Gifty, good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland. How are you?
Charlie, I did good. I think I saw a picture of you from over the weekend, and then I tried to see whether I'll see you on Monday and Tuesday. I never did.
Oh, which picture was that?
Oh, you were making up somebody. Was it Winston?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's behind the scenes. Sorry.
So I thought you had started work. Apparently you had not. Just came to mind.
No, I just jumped in to
I
help
know,
a bit,
right?
but yeah, I'll be back soon.
All right. I'll look forward to it. But which of the papers are you doing, Gifty?
Well, I've got the Ghanaian Observer, I've got the Statesman newspaper, and I've got the Daily Guide as well. Those are the ones that I have.
All right.
Okay.
So you can start, at least do two, then I come in and do some, yeah.
No problem. The only thing is I only have front pages for today. It looks like the back pages are full of adverts, so I'm just going to do the front pages mostly. The Ghanaian Observer is what I'm starting with. Banner headline, big banner headline: customers of failed banks paid fully. That's according to the Bank of Ghana boss. He says over 95% of savings and loans microfinance customers have been paid. That story is on page 9 and 10 of the Ghanaian Observer newspaper. And right by that story, you have NDC will collapse free SHS. That's according to Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Beneath that story, you have Sanitation Ministry, Zoom Lion, Resource Police, and Ghana Armed Forces. What are they resourcing them with? Certainly something that has to do with sanitation. It doesn't indicate where that story is, but it certainly will be in the paper inside the Ghanaian Observer newspaper. And free electricity not possible under NDC. Deputy Minister Aminata has been saying that. That's something that we've reported on already. And President Akufo-Addo Lord's Bank of Ghana. That's the president's tour of some offices yesterday, including the Ghana Stock Exchange. So those are the stories that you find on the front page of the Ghanaian Observer newspaper. I move on quickly with the Daily Statesman. Their banner headline is "We've fully paid all customers," very similar to what you find in the Ghanaian Observer newspaper. And it comes with a picture of President Akufo-Addo, the Bank of Ghana boss, and some other management members. Bank of Ghana updates Ghanaians on inherited banking sector mess. You certainly will expect that the Daily Statesman will capture it that way. It's a mess, of course, depending on where you're standing and how you look at it. You've heard all of the parties, say or explain the situation from their own perspective. So yeah, that's the Ghanaian, the Statesman for you. And above that story, you have Bawumia. Akufo-Addo is protecting lives. Okay, so Akufo-Addo is protecting lives is what Dr. Bawumia is saying. That story is on page 2 of the Daily Statesman. And Zongo Ministry commissions office complex for Zongo chiefs. I'd love to see how that office looks like. And how beneficial it will be to the Zongo communities. As I said, I've lived in the Zongo before, and I know that there are a lot of pressing needs there. I'm not sure if an office complex is one of the pressing needs, but maybe it is. I mean, I'm not the people. They probably asked for it. So, yeah, but I'd love to see how those offices look like. Then final story on the front page of the Statesman newspaper: data cost to further go down in NPP second term. How about we start experiencing it now so that I can have a stable internet from my end here? When I buy like 50 CDs for 1 hour, then you know that there's a problem. Okay.
I know, right?
The Ghanaian Observer and the Statesman, those are the papers I've gone through for you, Roland. I'll go through the next one when you're done with yours.
Well, thank you, Gifty. Let me quickly just do the Daily Graphic. Has on the front page, all customers of collapsed banks paid. And that is occupying front page of the Daily Graphic. We have 95% of savings and loans, microfinance depositors settled. The story, songs to the Bank of Ghana, filed by Donald Atoda Patem. Up there we have The Volta Aluminium Company Board outlining recovery plan. It has the chair of the board, Dr. Henry Benya. On the side, regulate financing of political party campaigns, CSOs. Well, the CSO's press conference yesterday just didn't find front page news on the Daily Graphic. All right, quite interesting though. Sanitation Ministry, Zoom Lion present pickup vehicles to police the armed forces, and this is to enable them complement efforts to ensure that we regulate and then also enforce sanitation and other environmental laws. And the center spread is about 350 pupils benefiting from a new educational complex provided by MTN Ghana. Is there? There's a great one there. And then also on the back page, motorbike accidents in Ashanti region on the rise. I don't know whether this is whether it's opportune or very coincidental. Still there. This is still news though, and you have it there because there's a great debate ongoing about motorcycles and whether how they should be used, etc. Reconstruction of Tema Industrial Area, Bone Road begins. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, Bank of Ghana again gets occupation. So we have revocation of licenses of 9 banks. Bank of Ghana pays all depositors, 95% to depositors of collapsed microfinance companies also paid. Yeah, I think that the Daily Graphic and Ghanaian Times all went to conference together. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Yeah. And then we have the police. Ghana Armed Forces received 2 pickups from Sanitation Ministry, Zoom Lion, to monitor and also ensure environmental bylaws compliance in Kumasi. I told you, the conference was, well, proper amalgamation. We also have Ghana's digitization agenda. 4 million unique addresses generated for property so far. Gifty, you have your GPS code? Or
I don't. And I've been wanting to reach out to the Ghana Post. I don't. So I've downloaded the app.
You haven't generated it. No wonder your internet is not.
That's what I'm saying. I've downloaded the app like 5 times. Anytime I download it and I try to, it has to give you the option to put in whatever details. It doesn't give me the details. So I delete the app, I reinstall, I try. I've done it like 5 times. So I was going to get in touch with the Ghana Post actually, because like it's not working. I don't know.
Internet is bad in your area.
No, it's not my internet.
Charlie, it's been just road partner. It's like COVID catch your area, be like that.
Oh, really? Is it better now? I don't know why. I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, yeah, these days it's been good. I'm talking about the internet that is not enabling you as you have your downloaded app of the GPS.
No, Roland. It has nothing to do with my internet, please.
I'm surprised because I was able to generate it. Even my end, the internet is not good. So,
well, it didn't work for me. Maybe there has to be a diagnosis of my special problem, but it didn't work.
I think you are being watched by the BNI. Watch it. Ghana's COVID-19 active cases down from 1,712 to 1,664. Isn't that great news? We just seem to be having the numbers lower and lower.
No, but we always have to bring the context to it, Roland.
Okay.
The context is
we haven't started. We're not making points yet. You wait. So that's my first point for you. So you hold on. Hey, Charlie, man started blasting Tobo. On social media, they say I don't allow you to talk, and that means I have.
But it's true. They've seen through you.
Anyway, Health Minister cut sword for construction of district hospital at Edukrom. Construction of Manhia Afuamang in Sakina Odumang Road begins in earnest. Now let me do the custodian has on the front page. Bawumia throws new challenge as NDC fights for a Kufuor Mahama debate. We have Opon Kruma explains the Japan royalties deal. Over 9 million NHIS subscribers use mobile renewal service in 6 months. That's a good one. They have a short code *929#. I haven't used it yet. I have to try and get registered. Government feeds junior high school final year students, teachers in 17,440 schools Well, you do know what the reactions have been from the students up north. A bit surprising, though. The Daily Dispatch has on the front page, we do not support any party. We stand for Ghana. EC to politicians. Ahoy on... Were you going to do the Daily Dispatch, Gifty?
No. I have the, the
Ahoy.
Daily Guide.
Ahoy on when Rawlings betrayed NDC and his close associates. Abu Sakara also endorses Tiki Dange. Yeah, as an independent in Damango election. The story is on page 2 of the paper. Okay, Gifty, let me hear you.
Okay, so let me wrap up with the Daily Guide newspaper, which is my final newspaper, and they did not seem to have, made the president's, story a big one. But they have the vice president, Bawumia, dares NDC to show projects in 2 weeks. That story is on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper and comes with a picture of a smiling vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. On top of that story is where the police soldiers get 5 cars from ministry and Zoom Lion is located, is on page 6 of the story of the newspaper. And Ahoy has infected mind. That's according to the special prosecutor, Martin Amidu. And the NPP student loan rent plans would reduce mental cases. Did the president say that? Okay, well, that story is on page 3 of the Daily Guide newspaper. And then Nagrat laws free Wi-Fi in schools. That would be amazing if we're able to do it. But yeah, we've seen that over the years, we've not been able to do it yet. Let's see how we
Gifty, we'll be able to do it. Anything we put our mind to.
I mean, that would be great. That would be great. I don't think it should take much. I mean, we should get the telcos to be able to support, put in some freebies here and there, and we should be fine.
Oh, Gifty.
So the center spread, the center spread of the Daily Guide, Ghanaian filmmakers dominates BSI FF 2020. Ms. Ball arrested over falsehood. It's asking a question. And Standard Chartered excels at global awards. There's also the 2020 Golden Movie Awards not called off according to organizers. And President visits BOG GSE. That story is here on the center spread, page 9 of the Daily Guide newspaper. Nana Laws Railway Minister for Transforming Sector. And Bank of Ghana asked Ghana Link to restrict Adamu's BCM. Let's look at the back page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Zongos gets sports boost. Sounds exciting. Polo blasts hearts. And referee demoted after holiday with players. Oh, why? Player stops wedding to clarify criticism. Very interesting sports stories on the back of the Daily Guide newspaper. Roland, now will be it for the newspapers for me.
All right, which is your pick? Gifty, let me go with you first. At least we have some 10 minutes to be able to do this as quickly as possible, if not about, I think 10
Well, I'll just touch on, maybe just mention to you the stories that jumped at me when we're doing the newspapers, and then maybe I can zero in onto the one that, share my thoughts on. So I think the financing of political parties, it didn't really get the prominence that I would have expected it would, but it jumped at me. The CSOs talking about financing of political party campaigns, it jumped at me. Then the depositors of defunct banks that were told have been paid, it did also jump at me. And the coronavirus statistics and how we're doing, where we are at the moment, did jump at me as well. And finally, government feeding. So I think I have about 4 stories that jumped at me today. Regarding the financing of political party campaigns, I think that we have the potential as a country and as a people of overlearning. Sometimes we learn and overlearn, but we don't seem to really learn the right things. I mean, in developed countries, there are strict rules about election campaigns, and financing them. But we don't seem to have done very well with that. And I say all the time that the people who are in charge of making the change, unless the people, the change becomes bottom up in a very radical manner. But otherwise, the people at the helm of affairs who are supposed to orchestrate the change will not, because it benefits them. So people are financing political parties because when they come into power, they know that they're going to get contracts. They know that they're going to have their leeway and do whatever they want. If they're business, they're running businesses, etc. So campaign financing is a big deal. But unfortunately, like you said, the CSO didn't get a lot of prominence with their story. But well, yeah, I think it's an important part that we should, focus on. Regarding the depositors, have we heard from the depositors? Have they all received their payments? I mean, we've seen all the newspapers talking about what the Bank of Ghana is saying, but what are the people saying? The people who put their money there, what are they saying? Have they received their money? I know not everybody has received it, but it'll be interesting to hear whether they've received their money or not. And I don't know if you want to jump in here, because I have two more that I want to talk about.
But I want to contribute to your first pick, and it's about the election financing and the modules or structures that by this time, after practicing democracy for 27, 28 years, depends on if you want to count from 1992, you would say by now we should have fashioned out a model. Indeed, since we all opened our eyes and said we wanted to start practicing this profession, we've been hearing all sorts of forums that have been convened. Even I remember the IEA had gathered a lot of party chairs. They had this forum of party officials who together will come do a lot of tinkering on what ideas they need to do to improve the dispensation. And it looks like after all these years, we just don't seem to have the commitment. I call it the lack of the commitment because, when the parties are in power, that posture that you see them exhibiting when they are in opposition is always absent. So you find that how enthusiastic, how vigorous, how very much boiling they are with ideas in opposition
the level of seriousness
seems to fizzle out immediately they get executive power. On that 7th of January, when they have their executive head, who was their flag bearer, elected and sworn into office, all the good ideas they had about how they can use their own support and then reins of power to tighten our democracy is just thrown to the dogs. In the United States, where we tend to model our democracy by, or in the UK, etc., they have limitations. Indeed, if you go to the United States and you read a lot of literature, you tend to peruse that. Apart from 4 states out of the number of states they have, all of them have limitations as to where the funding should be coming from for a particular political party, how much the limitations are, and then where you're getting the source of funding from. It makes it plausible for Donald Trump to then say, I was able to raise $10 million, or Barack Obama to say, I raised $20 million US, etc. And when you're spending it, you're spending it right because you got it right.
And even if you don't spend it right, there are checks. And you know that there are ways that people can actually demand transparency about your political campaign funding. And it's great. But like I'm saying, it's theatre, but we don't always get to learn the right things. So we learn the ones that makes life easy for us, and then we move on.
So for example, and it's written when you go to the US, says federal laws do not allow corporations and labor unions to donate money. And it's good. So to directly to candidates or national party committee. It also limits how much money individuals and organizations involved in political actions may contribute to political campaigns. Now, it doesn't mean that shareholders, so if you're the rich man and you own the corporation, you as an individual rich man, you can't donate to an individual. It makes a lot of sense that way. Thereby, you don't hold your company or you don't link it directly to a certain individual or party when they have to come into power or they are in opposition, or you see that they are being vilified because of certain actions. So it's the individual you hold responsible for anything that goes untoward, not his company or the corporation that he runs. It makes a lot of sense that way. But for us, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think that it's one of the big things we need to look at if we want to fight corruption and be really serious about it. But moving on from there, about the depositors. I mean, it's 2020 and there's going to be an election. We've seen all the big banner headlines that are saying that depositors have been paid. Depositors have been paid. For me, I mean, in all fairness, it just happened yesterday. And so journalists can go and do a follow-up to find out what has been done. Or, I mean, the depositors themselves can come out and speak. But I see a one-sided story being told. Even if they've had their money, I mean, it's positive, it's good. We should still hear from them, the depositors. What are they saying? The Bank of Ghana says we've paid all of them. What are the depositors saying? I think I would have loved to hear a bit more from that perspective as well, Roland. Regarding coronavirus, I think I've said it already. We say this over and over again, that as much as we talk about the numbers and see that they're going up, we know that people are still dying. But the context has to be established all the time.
Which is the context, Gifty?
The context is that we're not testing as much. I mean, not to even compare us to other countries, compare us to our own record in March when it started. The vigorousness, the seriousness, and the level at which we were testing has changed. In fact, even our case definition has changed, where people are being, allowed to go home after. We changed the way that we determined negative cases, for example. So a lot of things have changed. And so I think that anytime we mention that the numbers are going down, we should bring in that context. I think it's only fair. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. My final thoughts, though, Roland, is about the government feeding program. Yesterday, I was listening to the news and I was listening to these children, and I felt so good. I don't know, but I felt so good. I felt this hope. I mean, I heard children talking about not wanting to be roped into politics. I heard children talking about what they think they deserved, even if you're giving me food and it is free food. I have every right to let you know that this food is not good enough for me. And for children, Ghanaian children who are usually timid, and we're trying to change that, to be able to come out and to speak like that. I don't know, I felt so proud yesterday, and I said there is hope for this country, that children can speak for themselves. And they're saying that, and they're not groping themselves into the politics. One girl said, we're not blaming the government. We know they're trying for us.
They said we're not blaming the Kufuado.
So
that's what they said. And I think I also love that, because you share that sentiment on our page, our working page. And I think it was so refreshing, knowing that it was even coming from the heart of Northern Ghana per se.
Yes.
Yes. And and then you get to listen to their expression, the English expression, their depth of knowledge of what they were talking about. I thought that, look, at least maybe we're going to have a next generation who really will be forthright and will have the complement of their peers who will join them to say, when something is wrong, it is wrong. When something is not, it's not.
And for me, it struck me the maturity. They spoke with so much maturity. And they said, look, I mean, I've not seen the rise. They have seen it. And this is their experience, and they are sharing their experience. For people who will be able to stand up for themselves and say, you don't need to bring us into the politics. This food is not good enough. I was really excited. And I think there's hope for this country. I think those children should not be victimized. Those children should be encouraged to speak their mind. Those are the people we need.
Well, I have to say, though, some of the peoples also were appreciative of the food that they have.
Of course.
So we have to.
Of course.
All right, Gifty. Now, before now, we quickly would see whether we can do myjournline.com. And, well, we have a couple of stories. So the lead story is about the soldiers allegedly assaulted at Dome Fase Overland.
Very story as well.
Yeah, Gifty.
Very worrying story.
Especially since you are the head of our security desk.
I was saying that I tried to reach out to the Ghana Armed Forces to find out if they how they are responding to this. Of course, I've not been in the office. So,
Gifty, our time is up. Our time is up. I just heard the clock.
My time is up.
Yeah, I heard the clock in my ear. Okay, so that'll be it for now. Please make sure you join us. We have sports with Asari Bediakun.